Hi, hello, and welcome back to Khelo Dimaag Se, presented to you by Dream 11. So, in the last game, we clearly saw what happened, and I hope a lot of you would have got points and used my ideas to make your own team. I had a decent outing the last time. Today, we're going to look at the game where Australia will be taking on Sri Lanka at the Dubai International Cricket Stadium. The Dubai Stadium has been has been producing quite the results. It's quite contrasting, right? When West Indies played England, Adil Rashid picked those wickets, and again when Pakistan played India, the seamers were getting the wickets. Shaheen Shah, Afridi, Hassan Ali, they picked up the wickets. So if you look at the entire stats and the way the game has gone, it's generally been the fast bowlers that have been getting the wickets. Yes, the spinners have done well, have bowled well, but with fantasy points, it's mostly been with the fast bowlers. So that's where I'm going to start for this game. How do Sri Lanka and Australia stack up against each other? Sri Lanka are coming back from a game from Sharjah. They haven't played games at Dubai. It's going to be a big switch from Sharjah to Dubai. The bounce is slow, it's skiddy. When you come to Dubai, there is a bit more bounce, there is a little bit more help, a bit more carry. But Australia are coming from Abu Dhabi. That's also very different to Dubai. Abu Dhabi has got lesser bounce, good batting wicket. Against South Africa, it was a low-scoring game. So both teams have their work cut out. But however, Sri Lanka are coming from a tough chase of 170 odd in Sharjah, which must give them a lot of confidence. Sri Lanka have got the momentum. Yes, before the T20, before the World Cup started, how they stacked up and all is very different. But now, going into this particular game, they have very reasonable momentum. But Australia are an all-classy side. They've got all bases covered. They've got the pacers, they've got the spinners. They can make their changes. They've got the all-rounders. So it's going to be a good game. As I said, the bowlers, the fast bowlers, where I began, and that's where I will start my lineups with. I think Josh Hazlewood is a lock-in as far as I'm concerned. Josh Hazlewood got wickets last game up front with the new ball. Bowled 1 over at the death. If in case he doesn't get wickets up front, he might even bowl 2 overs at the death, because Mitchell Starc didn't quite work out the way he had to work out at the death. So I think Hazlewood might bowl too. So he's a lock for me. Pat Cummins didn't get a lot of wickets, but I'm sure he will come good. I remember a game where KKR played the Rajasthan Royals at Dubai, and he quite enjoyed bowling at Dubai. Got wickets, got a 4-wicket haul there, 4-wicket bag. So I'm going with Pat Cummins as well. From the Sri Lanka side, I'm picking one bowler that's fetched a lot of points in fantasy cricket. That's Lahiru Kumara. Has been bowling quick, bowls at the death, bowls with the new ball. So he's one that everybody in the fantasy league will pick. So he's there in my team. I'm picking a 4th bowler who is actually not a seamer, and that is the only difference I'm going. Initially, I had thoughts of either picking maybe someone like a Chamika Karunaratne, for example, but then I decided against it and went with Mahesh Deekshina. Mahesh Deekshina sat out the last game as a precautionary injury scare, which Sri Lanka have done traditionally in the World Cup, and they've had a bowler who they think can create an impact. They sort of use them wisely and create impact at the right time. So he will come in against this Australian lineup. I'm very sure, and if he is coming in, Mahesh Deekshina is a must. In case he doesn't, then you can always use Chamika Karunaratne, who also can bat a bit and bowl. But in my team, it's going to be Mahesh Deekshina. I'm going to be going with 2 all-rounders. The last time when Australia played South Africa, I made the error of not picking Maxwell. I must have picked Maxwell. I won that game on that particular fantasy day because I had Stoinis, because I had Zampa and all that, but I missed out on Maxwell. Shouldn't have done that, because I thought Maxwell is batting at number 5 and might not get wickets, but he got catches, he took wickets, then he came into bat as well in a 120-run chase. He did me in. So Maxwell is in my team, and Maxwell is also going to be the captain of my side. So that's with respect to Maxwell. I'm ending this chapter there. Everybody will pick Maxwell, and more than 40 to 50% of the people playing fantasy league will have him as the captain. So he's my captain as well. The other all-rounder I'm picking against a heavily right-handed Aussie batting lineup, barring David Warner and Matthew Wade, who's batting at number 7. Australia do not have many left-handers. They're not playing Ashton Agar, which doesn't give them the license of using another left-hander up in the order or in the middle order. So I'm picking Vanidu Hasaranga. Hasaranga against this heavily right-handed Aussie batting lineup will be and should be a handful, and I'm sure most people will pick. In the fantasy league segment, whenever I see and Sri Lanka is playing, Vanidu Hasaranga is picked 90% of the teams. That means he's clearly fetching points. He can also bat. Sri Lanka are using him in a different batting role. I was very tempted to use him as the vice captain, but I'm not because I'm taking a small gamble, which many people might not. But it's worth the gamble, which I'll talk about soon enough. So those two all-rounders make my all-rounders list. With respect to batsmen, I'm going with David Warner, Aaron Finch, and Steven Smith. Steven Smith is also being picked by most people, and he got runs against South Africa last game, so cannot leave him out. I'm picking a top order heavy batting lineup from Australia because I think Australia will, from the last game experience, use it and try and start a little steady, like how West Indies started against South Africa. They didn't want to lose early wickets, so I think Finch and Warner will fetch me those runs. In case one early wicket falls, I think Steven Smith is there to back me up. Probably even Steven Smith will bat at 3 because of the way he's batting. So there's one batsman that I'm picking. I wanted to pick 2, but then I had to go with Steven Smith because of the insurance that he will cover me for a top order failure with Australia. But with Sri Lanka, I'm thinking a lot of runs have come from Vanidu Hasaranga and maybe some of the others, and not a lot of contribution from the top. Pathum Nissanka has looked good, but still hasn't given me the fantasy points that I would like. So I'm picking one batsman who's showing a lot of promise, making runs. He is highly rated. His name is Charit Hasalanka. Charit Hasalanka is a wonderful left-hand batsman. Batted beautifully in the last game against Bangladesh. Timed the ball really well. I know people might want to pick Bhanuka Rajapakse and all that, but he's batting a little low down the order. Australian pace. Keeping all that in mind, I've gone with Charit Hasalanka. So Charit Hasalanka is that one batsman that I'm picking from Sri Lanka, and my keeper, just to cover the other bases, is Kusal Perera. And Kusal Perera is a must because you have two options of Kusal Perera and Matthew Wade. So Matthew Wade is batting down the order. In case Kusal Perera makes 25 or 30 runs, he will still fetch you the points that you deserve. So that's my team, and like I said, I'm taking a chance with the vice captain, which people might be. I even wanted to take a chance as captain, but most people are picking Maxwell as the captain, so Maxwell is my captain too. My vice captain for the day is David Warner. I know David Warner hasn't got a lot of runs, but he batted beautifully last game. Until he was in, he got a few shots away, timed the ball well. So I think David Warner, taking a bit of time, might get those runs against Sri Lanka. If Mahesh Dikshana is a bowler that he can get through with, I think David Warner is a gamble worth taking. And if it is in case Australia bowl first, and if it is a 130-140 chase, I think Warner and Finch along with Smith will ice that chase. So David Warner is the vice captain for the day. So how does my team look? My final look, even though I gave you the options, Kusal Perera, Aaron Finch, David Warner, Steven Smith, and Charita Hasalanka, with David Warner as vice captain. Two all-rounders stacking up are Vanidu Hasaranga and Glenn Maxwell. Glenn Maxwell is the captain for the day, and 4 bowlers are Josh Hazelwood, Pat Cummins, Lahiru Kumara, and Mahesh Dikshana, where I'm taking the gamble. In case, again I repeat, Dikshana doesn't play, I will go with Karunaratne from Sri Lanka. Do enjoy, use these tips, and obviously make your team with your instinct and have a good day playing fantasy cricket.